Netflix is not deep trouble. It's becoming a media company. New York CNN Business. Netflix has had a terrible 2022. In April, it said it lost subscribers for the first time since 2011. Its stock has tumbled more than 60% so far this year. Yet, its recent struggles may not be the start of the downward spiral or the beginning of the end for the streaming giant. Rather, it's a sign that Netflix is becoming a more traditional media company. Netflix was originally valued as the big tech company, part of the Wall Street acronym FAN, which stood for Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. Wall Street once valued the company at about $300 billion, a number on par with the many big tech companies that Netflix's business model ultimately couldn't live up to. I think Netflix was extremely overvalued. Julia Alexander, director of strategy at Parrot Analytics, told CNN Business. Unlike those companies that had different tentacles, Netflix does not have a lot of tentacles. But Netflix was never really a tech company. Yes, it relied on subscriber growth like many companies in the tech world, but its subscriber growth wasn't built on having films and TV shows that people wanted to watch and pay for. That's more that's more like a studio in Hollywood than a tech company in Silicon Valley. Netflix looked a lot more like a tech company than, yes, Disney, Comcast, Paramount, or CNN parent company Warner Bros. Discovery. But as those traditional media companies start to look a lot more like Netflix, Netflix in turn is starting to take pages out of its rivals' playbooks. Each it's going to start serving as, and it has been releasing some shows of over the course of weeks and months rather than all at once. Netflix has said that it's cheaper at tier and clamp down or on password sharing may come next year. Each partnering with Microsoft for its ad business. I think in many ways the moves Netflix are making suggest a transition from tech company to media company. Andrew Hare, a senior vice president of research at Majid told CNN Business. With the introduction of ads, a crackdown on password sharing, Mark shows like a stranger things experimenting with the staggered release. We are seeing Netflix looking more like a traditional media company every day. Hale added that Netflix's former business strategy, which was once sacrosanct, is now being turned out of the window. Netflix once forced Hollywood deeply out of its comfort zone. They both brought streaming to the American living room, he said. Now it appears some more conventional practices could be what Netflix needs. And Netflix right now, a lot of these strategy moves are being made as they mature and move into the next page, as the company noted here. That includes focusing on cash flow and revenue rather than just growth. In other words, old school business, he said. CNN Business most Cohen contributed to this report.